Hello and guten Tag. Our case study is on groundwater contamination due to domestic activities. The case study was done at Tata City, Egypt. The study area consists of 6-story dwelling buildings. The dwelling units was constructed on agricultural land and the construction takes place in 1990. The source of the problem is from circular underground permeable septic tank. The septic tank collects domestic wastewater from the dwelling units. The diameter of the tank is 3 meter and the depth is 10 meter, as shown in the picture. The layer of the soil at the septic tank area is as shown in the picture. The height of 7.5 meter from ground surface consists of clayey silt and silty clay. From 7.5 meter depth to 11 meter depth, the layer is classified as fine to medium sand labeled as sand 1. Followed by medium to coarse sand labeled as sand 2 from the height of 11 meter to the bedrock at 15 meter. The groundwater table is located 4.5 meter from ground surface. As shown in picture, the area where the septic tank is located has been flooded with wastewater. The wastewater also has flooded agriculture land and dwelling building as reported. The consequences of the problem will be discussed later in this video. As shown in the graph, the pH value decreases gradually by about 15% in year 2009 compared to in year 1997. This is due to the increase of acidic chemical composition, dissolved components and complex of detergents. As shown in the graph, the concentration of total dissolved solid (TDS) increased gradually about 100% in year 2009 compared to in year 1997. Based on the graph, it shows that the concentration of sulfate increased about 460% and the concentration of chloride increased about 560% in year 2009. The percentage is compared to the concentration of both elements in year 1997. The concentration of magnesium decreased about 80%. The concentration of calcium increased about 58%. The concentration of iron, aluminium and fluoride increased in 2009 compared to in 1997. The percentage increase is 150% for iron, 130% for aluminium and 380% for fluoride. The concentration of manganese, cyanide and arsenic increased by 140%, 700% and 300% respectively, in year 2009 compared to 1997. For the same comparison years, the concentration of chromium and selenium increased to 0.375 mg per liter and 0.285 mg per liter respectively. Previously in 1997, both concentration is 0. The concentration of copper increased by 90% and nitrite by 260% in year 2009 compared to 1997. The concentration of zinc and nitrate in the groundwater increased by 150% and 175% in year 2009 compared to 1997 respectively. In 1997, the concentration of cobalt and nickel is 0. However, the figures increase in which the concentration of cobalt and nickel in groundwater in year 2009 is 1.8 mg per liter and 0.12 mg per liter respectively. The extent of damage is not measured for the case study. but it is expected that the extensive use of pesticide in agriculture and irrigation and also any pollution occurs at River Nile will pollute the groundwater to larger extent. As shown earlier in the video, the problem cause flooding of sewage to the building, agricultural land and also pollute the groundwater system. The groundwater turns out to be dark in color and having bad odor. The situation also causing structural failure to the wall and slab, especially at the ground level. Pollutant will change the geotechnical properties of the soil, which will later cause geotechnical problem. In fact, the pollution of the groundwater causing threat to the safety of water supplies. Pollutant will change the properties of the groundwater. Disease such as hepatitis and dysentery will lead to death, not only to human, but also to other living things. Due to the alteration, environment will be lack of nutrient and the sustainable environment will not last forever. Remediation works have to be conducted if such problems occur. One of the solution for the problem is by replacing or improve the current permeable septic tank with closed underground tank. However, the process will be difficult because a new area for the septic tank need to be proposed. On the other hand, if the current septic tank undergo improvement by adding impermeable layer to it, the current sewage in the tank need to be removed and temporary sewage collection system has to be constructed to collect sewage during the construction work. Besides, the remediation work can also be the construction of a standard sewage network with high-quality material. For the work execution, professional team should be hired so that the final result can be achieved and no similar problems occurs. However, for both remediation works suggested, a very large amount of money have to be allocated. The construction of new tank would need a new land. The usage of high-quality materials will increase the construction cost, and same goes to the action of hiring professional team. Based on the estimation, 6 stories of 3 buildings will produce 360 p. The 3 meters of diameter and 10 meters length closed underground septic tank will be used with the estimation Malaysia price of Rm 150,000 per unit. The system constructed will then have to be maintained and supervised to ensure the system and structure is working in good condition. This have to be included in the cost for the remediation work. Another remediation that is suggested is public awareness, in which the authorities have to educate the citizen on the hazardous effect of discharging wastewater into groundwater and soil, which can produce the pollution in groundwater. However, this might not be helpful as not all citizens have the responsibilities and idea that the leakage they see is from sewage. Lastly, address the problem of the groundwater contamination due to any leakage on national scale. Any parties involved with a contribution of pollution to groundwater have to be charged for their mistakes. However, this action will not solving the issue as it will only give awareness to others. Other remediation action will still have to be executed. Based on the case study of the domestic wastewater effect on the pollution of the groundwater in rural areas in Egypt, it can be concluded that domestic activities can also contribute to the contamination of groundwater. The contamination of groundwater due to domestic activities will cause the pH value of the groundwater to decrease and become acidic. Besides, the pollution will also cause the total dissolved solid TDS, sulfates and chlorides value to increase. Others parameter, such as the concentration of heavy metal, mercury, cadmium and lead, also increase as the wastewater infiltrates into the groundwater. Due to the contamination, the groundwater cannot be used as source of water to the people in the area. To prevent the problem from getting worse, actions have to be taken. The original septic tanks have to be improvised or replaced with suitable tanks. However, there are other factors to be considered in order for the work to be done, such as the allocation of money. Thank you for your attention. This video is specially brought to you by Gloria, Ilyani, Shahida, Suziana and Mad Hayatal.